All right, what's up everybody? We're going to get started here in just a moment. I'd like to welcome everybody back to Walks on Wall Street. If you guys could hear me and if you can see the stream in 1080p, just go ahead and leave a thumbs up in the chat and we will get started and kick this off momentarily. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. All right, I think we are good to go, everybody. So we'll go ahead and kick this off. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Walks on Wall Street. Today is Sunday, February 4th, 2024. It's about 9:31 p.m. Eastern Time here in New York City. And the good news is it's not raining. And it wasn't cloudy out at all today. It was actually pretty nice. Beautiful blue skies. Sun was out, and all week we're gonna get 5 straight days of sunshine, which is gonna be absolutely fantastic. Now, if you tuned into the stream last week, there was a lot of stuff we needed to cover and a lot of stuff we needed to talk about, particularly due to corporate earnings. We had Microsoft, we had Meta, we had Apple, and we had Alphabet reporting all in the same week. But in addition to that, we also got an update in regards to monetary policy. Federal Reserve Jerome Powell, or I should say Fed Chair Jerome Powell, concluded the FOMC meeting, the Federal Open Market Committee meeting, January 30th through January 31st. They decided to hold interest rates in the target range of 5.25% to 5.5%. There was no rate cut, there was no hike. There was yet again another pause. But looking out, forecasting to the next FOMC meeting, the Fed chair was very steadfast in essentially signaling to the market that there is going to be no rate cut in March. Now, the futures market is telling a different story, which we've talked about. If you go to the CME Fed Watch tool, since I'm near my computer, let me go ahead and give you guys that link. Just bear with me for a moment. So if you look in the chat right now, you're going to see my name highlighted. It should say Walks Wall Street. And I'm going to give you guys the exact link to the CME Group Fed Watch tool. So it'll say HTTPS and then CME Group Fed Watch tool. Essentially, this calculates the probabilities of a rate hike at each and every FOMC meeting. And it'll also give you the countdown clock, how many days, hours, minutes, and seconds left to the next FOMC meeting. And since we're doing this live, there's 44 days, 16 hours, 26 minutes, and 19 seconds until the next FOMC meeting. Let's go ahead and look at probabilities for a moment. Looking all the way out to December of 2024. So at the end of the year, the market is assigning about a 37.6% likelihood or probability that the Fed funds rate is going to be in a target range of 4% to 4.25%. That would signify, over 100 basis points worth of cuts here. We'll see what happens. Since the futures just opened here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just go ahead and give a quick check on futures. If you want to follow along on your Bloomberg terminal or TradingView or whatnot, just type in ticker symbol ES. That is the E-mini futures contract for the S&P 500. We're down about 11 points, trading at 4,968. We'll take a look at the NQs, the E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures contract. We're down about 50 points, 17,682. Last but not least, the Dow 30 YM, down 66 points, 38,699. We'll look at the cash market, the cash close, the SPX, brand new all-time record highs and brand new all-time closing record high for the S&P 500 last week. Now, since the breakout, let's do the quick calculation here. So the S&P 500 hit a brand new all-time record high on January 4th of 2022. Okay, January 4th of 2022. We've been in a severe bear market. The S&P didn't break that all-time record high until January 19th of 2024. So think about that for a moment. From January 3rd of 2022 to January, what was that? Yeah, January 16th, 2024. So a little over 2 years it's been until the market has seen all-time record highs. And in that time frame, from peak to trough, we had a 27% drawdown. That is some real damage in the market. So I think that this move could potentially be just getting started, actually. Building out a massive 2-year base, breaking into all-time record highs, and we are now 171 points into new high territory from the breakout, about 4%. All right. More importantly, we'll quickly check in on the bond market. I was always told, if you want to know where the stock market is going to go, you got to look at the bond market. And there was some major movements in the bond market last week because of the FOMC meeting. If you go to cnbc.com/bonds, again, cnbc.com/bonds, you can look at the entire yield curve. Looks like this. So these are all the treasury rates, and we really like to focus on the 10 and the 2s. That is the main spread in the curve. 10-year U.S. Treasury yield is yielding just over 4%. And the 2-year is yielding 4.42%. So we have an inversion of the yield curve. We've talked about what that means. And other products, right, the further out on the curve you go, from the 10-year to the 20-year and the 30-year, a lot of products that consumers use are priced off of those benchmarks, right? So as you have the long end of the curve hopefully coming down, that'll probably put some pressure on yields of 30-year fixed rate mortgages and the like. So very important to pay attention to that. All right, I think that's all I got. Everybody, last but not least, Thursday, I did send out the Behind the Street newsletter. We covered earnings, we covered AI, we did a deep dive and actually did a little bit of a DCF model that we included in the link. So if you type !news, NEWS, in the chat, the Nightbot will drop the link to our newsletter. And if you want, I finally figured out how to include our models that we build, right? So DCF model, everybody builds them differently, but the way I was taught is how I've included it. If you go to our chat, you can now download Excel documents, PDF, and Word formats. So check us out over there. But again, if you want to receive all of our equity research completely free every other Thursday after the market closes, just type !news, NEWS, in the chat, and you will receive our free financial newsletter. Let me go ahead and close up the laptop. I'll say hello to everybody in the chat, and we will get started. Welcome to New York City. Welcome to East 30th Street and Lexington Avenue. We'll get started in just a moment. All right, cool, everybody. Now from here, we can see a really cool view of the Chrysler Building all the way in the distance. And the Empire State Building is going to be lit up in total blue. It's like this icy blue. I'm not sure why, but we'll check it out. Also, One Vanderbilt is the same color scheme, as well as going all the way down to the World Trade Center. So when you see, what's up from Toronto, Canada? Good to see all of our Canadian viewers. Austin City Limits, Touted Tara, Luis Fernando, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us. Steph UF, Richard Vogel, welcome, welcome. Susanna Q4, Patrice 2020. What is up? Dewey says good morning from Dublin, Ireland. Oh, very cool. So my ancestors, right? I guess you could say my great-grandfather is from a place called County Mayo, Ireland. Not sure if you know where that is. I don't know where that is, but if you're an Ireland guy or gal, maybe you know where it is. John Casey, what's up? Good evening from New Jersey. What's up, John? Stunning views of the Chrysler building here. Ricky said, Succession brought me here. Cool. I'm not too sure what that is, but thank you so much for joining us. Theo is here, says hi, Tom. Theo, welcome from Tampa, Florida. Oh, guys, look at this. Blue. As we head over towards Fifth Avenue, you're going to see it a little bit better. Giovanni, what's up? From Ecuador. Thanks for joining us. Hawaii is here. Now, we did a shorter than normal live stream last night, but I thought it was an important stream because we walked all the way to 59th Street, Central Park South, right next to the GM building. And we actually went in and streamed live in the Apple Store. So the main Fifth Avenue Apple Store, and checked out the Vision Pro. And it was an interesting conversation because, particularly in the chat, I think we're about split 50-50 down the middle. Is this sort of like a junk piece of technology that nobody's gonna buy and nobody's gonna utilize? Or is this sort of a revolutionary technology? Well, I'm not that smart enough to know, but I will say this, and this is total anecdotal data, by the way, just for those viewers who didn't get to tune in to see the Vision Pro live yesterday. Here's the thing. We were in the Apple Store on Fifth Avenue, I mean, at damn near 10 o'clock at night. And the place was packed, everybody. Okay, and if you want to, see what we're talking about, it's all live, it's on film. We don't make any edits. The place was absolutely packed, and there was probably, we counted, I think 20 people, 19 or 20, that was actually purchasing, just while we were in the store at 10 o'clock at night, the $4,500 Vision Pro. Now, estimates stated that they were expecting about 200,000 sales, right, or pre-orders. From what I saw, and again, super anecdotal, right? It's just one store here in New York City. But if it's one store in New York City at 10 o'clock at night where 20 people are in there purchasing the thing and trying it out, you can bet that there's going to be a lot more than 200,000 orders of that product. Cooking says, what's the product again? It is called the Vision Pro. The Vision Pro of Apple. Richard Vogel says $4,500. I believe that's what I believe that's the retail price, I think. Ace Options Trading says I ordered mine and got the 1 terabyte version. I'm excited to pick it up tomorrow. Wow, okay, so here we go. So we have one person already who's ordered the Apple Vision Pro. Now, you know what I'm extremely curious about? Could you guys imagine wearing that headset, right? And watching this live stream on the Vision Pro? Like, imagine being totally immersed, in a New York City live stream, being able to walk around and turn your head 365 degrees. That would literally feel like you're walking the streets in New York City right here with us. I gotta figure out how we could demo that, but have me show you guys what it looks like for those of you who don't have the Vision Pro. I think that would be insane. If anybody knows a way how we could demo that for the audience here, I would be very interested in doing that. Anyway, all right, check this out. We're now looking at One Vanderbilt. Harrison says you look like a goofball wearing that. For sure. Did you see the Casey Neistat video? I thought he did a phenomenal job. Now, he's probably one of the most respected, you could probably say, cinematographers, videographers, right, of our generation. I should say of the, go-to-market, not like big bureaucracy in media. And he says, and I quote, right, you could look on his Twitter page, he said it's the most revolutionary and disruptive piece of technology in our lifetime. I mean, How many sales alone, right? So even though Apple is an incredible marketing company, and we can all agree on this, Apple's marketing is amazing. They make everything look so beautiful and they pretty everything up. But imagine how many views that video is gonna get of the Vision Pro with Casey Neistat. I mean, that's probably gonna drive 100,000 sales in and of itself, just on all those videos that's gonna be posted about it. So I'm expecting that number to be blown out of the water. This is an interesting view of Park Avenue going all the way up. You know what, let's actually head up Park tonight, and I want to try to go on the on-ramp to Grand Central Station, but first we'll go down East 32nd, just so we could check out the Empire State Building in that blue color scheme. Hey Estelle, says hello Tom, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining. Deborah says, I think he means it's the most disruptive hardware. Technology, etc. For sure, yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how it unfolds. We'll definitely see how it unfolds. But the interesting thing, and this is what I was texting back and forth with my friend today about it, because he's an analyst at a big bank, and he was like, you know what, Meta, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, has had the same product out for the past 3 to 4 years, way before Apple. So Meta has had this first mover advantage with their Quest headset. But does anybody remember the big hype around, oh, the Quest headset is going to come out? I don't remember any of that. I don't even know, I couldn't even tell you what it looks like, to be quite honest. I don't even know what the Quest headset looks like at Meta. And I will say this, to follow up, the physical piece of technology could be way better at Meta. It could do more things. It could, have a better battery life. It could be better across the board in every category. But the number one rule of sales, okay, and marketing, it's irrelevant how good your product is. If nobody knows about it, nobody's gonna buy it. So in the end, it's whoever has the better sales and marketing team. And as of now, in my opinion, there is no company on the planet that can market better than Apple. Like, all the demos are amazing. They put so much behind it. And I think that's what creates that big hype. So if you want to compare the product launch of the Vision Pro to the Quest, personally, I couldn't even compare it because I don't even know when the Quest headset even came out. But I think Apple just dominated it. So, when I was a very young entry-level salesperson and account executive at a big telecom company, I remember the sales manager always said that. He's like, in general, right now, I know there's some nuance, but he's like, it doesn't matter how amazing the product is, right? You want to strive to have a great product, to provide customers a great service, but if nobody knows about it, you could have the best product, the best service that does everything better than your competition, but if nobody knows about it, nobody's going to buy it. So it's the company's job to hire great marketers, great designers, and great salespeople to get the word out. And no company on earth does it better than Apple, in my view. All right, everybody, look at this. East 32nd Street, 5th Avenue. And look who it is. This is the Empire State Building. Absolutely stunning. Susanna Q4 says nobody heard about Quest ever. Well, I guess I'll ask this question. Does anybody here in the chat own a Quest headset or a Vision Pro? And maybe could provide a little bit of clarity or perspective or opinion about, is it a good product? Have you used it? Hold on, I gotta put you guys down for a second. I guess it would be helpful to tell you guys where we're gonna go tonight. Just give me one moment. Donna, what's up? Hey, Nicholas Persad, Lena Sandoval, Two Wheel Freedom. Hopefully everything is well over there in Florida. But tonight I want to check out the new Penn Station. Okay, a lot of times on the stream we'll talk about commercial real estate, we'll talk about residential real estate. One of the most exciting projects, and I think one of the most important projects, and this isn't an exaggeration, I believe wholeheartedly, one of the most important projects that's going on in New York City right now is the 2 Penn project, as well as the complete gut renovation of Penn Station. For the following reasons, by the way. Chances are, if you are a tourist and you're flying into JFK, John F. Kennedy Airport, right? One of the first experiences of New York City for you is Penn Station. Because if you think about it, you land at JFK, you take the air train to Jamaica Station, and then you get on the Long Island Railroad and you land in Penn Station. Or you also land in Grand Central Station. But I think, as New Yorkers know, I don't have to explain it, Penn Station's a very rough place. It's not aesthetically appealing. You know, there's lots of homeless. It doesn't really look good at all. But now that is changing, and it's changing in a big way. They've elevated the ceiling heights. They've made it a lot brighter. They've cleaned up the neighborhood. They're in the process of building more office space, Class A office space. So that's good news. If you want tourism to rebound in a big way in the city, which it has, you got to invest in making sure the infrastructure, particularly what people first see, you need to make sure that's robust. So we're going to do a complete walking tour of the 2 Penn project. Assuming the internet works downstairs, we're going to go inside Penn Station, down the main escalators, and all the way through to the brand new Moynihan train hall. So for those people who are watching, maybe you haven't been to New York in a couple of years, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised and impressed. All right, let's make our way through Koreatown here. I see Lance. What's up? Someone says, I own the Quest 3 and I love the social apps. Let me read that comment here. Jennifer says, Tom, I own the Quest 3 and I love the social apps where you can talk to people. Also for sports watching, the NBA in VR and other sports, plus games in VR look amazing. Super clear, no screen door effect. Amazing. No, Alfonso S., I did not hear that. New York City will get to host the final match of the World Cup. Wow, I didn't hear that. I thought it was Miami was going to host some of the games of the World Cup. But that's awesome. I mean, if the World Cup finals are in New York City, I may have to pony up the cash and go to that, quite honestly. I mean, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. World Cup finals in New York City? Wow, I may have to go. I did not hear about that. Hey, MH. Good to see you. Ron says, whenever I visit New York City, I normally take a taxi from JFK to my destination. I visit once a year for a shopping trip. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Now, most people, right, particularly if you're a younger working professional, you want to save money, many people, the first thing they see is Penn Station. And particularly 34th Street and 8th Avenue. Well, it's a little bit of a horror show. But the good news is it's improving. They're cleaning the neighborhood up. There's a lot of new buildings going up, and I'm very optimistic on the new Penn Station. Sabrina Fair, what is going on? Thanks so much for joining us. Dude, this is even the Cricket World Cup version is happening this summer, the US and the Caribbean. Wow. Yeah, cricket is very big in India. I think that's one of the sport in India is cricket. I've never played it. It's very cool. You can see where it says the Penn District, Vornado Realty Trust. Fun fact. So Vornado, you really think of Vornado as big commercial buildings, right? But Steve Roth actually put on one of the most desirable residential apartment buildings, and by the way, the best selling ultra luxury residential apartment building on Billionaires Row, called 220 Central Park South. Pretty cool. So Vornado, we walk past that building all the time. That's the one that really stands out on Billionaires Row. It's not this super tall gold, or not gold, glass encased building like Central Park Tower. The facade is all stone, and it has this really, really unique gold top. And it's one of the best-selling buildings on New York City's Billionaires Row. So this is the first perspective of the new Penn District. They've totally demolished this old hotel. I mean, I can't even really wrap my head around how different this looks. New Yorkers will definitely sort of understand what I'm saying. You know, standing on 32nd Street, looking at Madison Square Garden, I mean, to have this big empty lot here, it definitely looks a little bit awkward. I believe that used to be the old Pennsylvania Hotel. That was really ratty, it was kind of getting really nasty, so they tore it down. And this building is all brand new. They've now taken down all the scaffolding, so when we walk under there, you're gonna see all the lights. And I think they did a really, really good job. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be able to take you down underground. But as we know, the internet's a little bit iffy there. So we'll see. Now, could you imagine having an office right here? Those ceilings, the ceiling heights are really, really tall. I think they're 20-foot ceilings. And unobstructed views of the Empire State Building too. So very nice, very new. Hopefully that'll attract a lot of tenants. Back to the Penn District. Okay, check out how awkward this looks. So now that that hotel is completely demolished, this is the entrance to the subway, but obviously they had to leave the entrance intact. It's probably not in operation anymore, but it looks so weird just having the random subway entrance. And look at that. Awesome unobstructed view of the Empire State Building. Hey, Zozo Bob, what's up? Thanks for joining us on this Sunday night in New York City as we explore the brand new entrance to Madison Square Garden and to Penn. If you remember from previous live streams, particularly over the holidays, we couldn't see any of this facade. There was scaffolding, there was all types of wire and construction material, and now all of it is down. I mean, guys, this looks really nice. This big thing right here, is the main entrance now to to Penn Station, where you can get the Long Island Railroad. So you'll see a lot of the taxi cabs waiting here, because this is one of the most trafficked places in the entire city. And there's this really cool electronic screen, sort of like a billboard, that you can see right here. So this is all electronic screen that changes. They'll probably have like the scores of the games that are going on in Madison Square Garden. I think they did a really good job. Hey, Western Mass Dave's. Hello, Tom and Chat. Just stopping by briefly. I'm watching the Grammys, but wanted to say hi. Oh, appreciate it, Dave. I didn't even know the Grammys were going on. Awesome. Vincent says that hotel had a great location, but it was not a nice place to stay. That's what I heard as well. Look, I'm glad it came down because it really opens up the entire block. All right, here we go. Look at that, the brand new sign, Penn Station, New Jersey Transit, Amtrak, and Long Island Railroad. These are the brand new escalators that go down. We'll head down there right now. But look at how cool that is. Unobstructed shot of the Empire. If you turn the camera over a little bit to the left, you can see One Vanderbilt as well. And this whole lot is totally blown out and vacant. You can see they're laying the tile, or I would say the rocks, the slabs, if you will. They're still building it out. You have all brand new electronic signs. And this is 32nd Street. So this will span from East 31st, which is right there, all the way up to, or excuse me, all the way up to West 35th. So west to west. All right, let's head down for the first time. So this is the new entrance.
Welcome to Penn Station, New York. Please watch your footing and hold on to the handrail. Hold small children by the hand. Place your luggage behind you. Please be advised, the skylight.
So this is still, just to give you a little bit of an idea, this is still the original very low ceiling heights in Penn Station. It looks very dark down here. It doesn't really look that good. But as we go out and then go down the other section, you'll see the ceiling heights have been raised significantly. And it looks very modern. It looks new. It doesn't look anything like that you see here now. I just wanted to show you the new entrance. So this is entrance number 1. We're gonna go back up and check out entrance number 2, and that's really where you're gonna see the vast majority of the change. So just keep a mental note of how low the ceiling heights were here. And then as we go over to the main entrance, you'll see a complete 180 in the difference. Yeah, someone says the ceilings are still low and cramped. In the New Jersey Transit terminal, yes. The New Jersey Transit terminal is not complete yet. The ceiling heights are still very low. I just wanted to show you the first entrance, but for some perspective here, we're gonna go to the brand new Long Island Railroad entrance, and that one is really, really impressive. Well, let's walk on the patio here. This is the first time ever we've stepped foot on this brand new entrance in the stream. There's a really nice lounge up here. More lounges here. I actually think that is the JP Morgan Chase Bank. This is 2 Penn. I think this looks really nice. In the summer, this is gonna be killer. Oh my God. Guys, check this out. So right as you walk out of Madison Square Garden, look at that. I mean, is that not a welcome to New York? Hopefully, right, fingers crossed, this building won't obstruct the view of the Empire State Building. You know, imagine you're a tourist, or you're coming to New York City for the first time, You land in Penn Station and you come out the gates, and this is the first thing you see. That is like the best New York City welcome you could possibly get. Kind of looks like the night sky here too. Optima 13 says thumbs up for this area. Absolutely, and hopefully this will revitalize. Hopefully this will revitalize the neighborhood, right? Because vacancy, if you talk about commercial office vacancy, is very, very high in and around the Penn district, if you will. This is one of the main entrances to Penn. So you guys, this is what I'm talking about in terms of Class A office space. I mean, you can't even compare, right? I mean, imagine going to work in a place like this. The ceiling heights in the lobby are probably like 50 or 60 feet. You have all state-of-the-art lounge areas here, probably coffee shops, places to work, places to eat. This is where employees want to work. You know, in newer buildings like this, they don't want to work in very cramped 1980s office towers where the ceilings are like 8 feet tall. So this is very encouraging. Hey, Greg Peters, what's up? Tug Carter says, Tom, have you ever seen photos of the original Penn Station? It was incredible. I have. I've seen the original photo with the light, with the natural sunlight coming in and hitting the floor. It was amazing. Okay, now this is sort of the moment we've all been waiting for. If you think back to our live streams during the holidays, right? I would take you guys in here, but all of this space where we're standing now was totally blocked off. The construction looked horrible. There was scaffolding everywhere. And now this is a complete seamless open space. Let me see if I could do the camera lens. I think there's just enough light to do the wide angle. So we'll go down the stairs and around, just to give you some perspective. It looks awesome with no scaffolding. So here it is, Penn 2. This is the new sign. You have a brand new entrance to the subway. You can get the 1, 2, and 3 trains right here. And you have your main entrance to the Long Island Railroad. What do you guys think? I think this looks so much better. This is the type of infrastructure we deserve in New York City. Totally changes Penn Station. And then in the back, you have Madison Square Garden. All right, let's switch back to the normal lens. And then right as you come up the stairs, there's that view of the Empire State Building again. All right, let's head down. So they had to blow a big hole in the ceiling. And I want you to notice the difference in the ceiling heights too.
Or similar devices are not permitted on the escalator. For your children's safety, do not allow them to play on or near the escalator. Attend to small children by holding their hand while riding.
Welcome to Long Island Railroad Penn Station.
Please be careful while riding the escalator. Please watch your step getting on and off.
Now for some context here, everybody. If you look where it says track 18 and 19, this is how tall, or I should say how short the ceiling heights used to be at Penn Station. So imagine being down here and everything is this height. It's almost like you had to duck when you were down here. But now, I mean, these feel like 20-foot ceilings. I mean, maybe if not more. Hey, Sunshine NYC. Oh, you okay? Yikes, I just dodged that before I got creamed. I saw him coming. He's, God, riding his bike. He was flying in the station. Jesus. Anyway, so you got the Dos Toros here. And then you got Cane's Kitchen, or the chicken place. Then you have Shake Shack. And for additional oh, that's right. There's no more rewinding on the live stream. Well, there is rewinding. I will let this guy go first. Well, you are allowed to rewind, but I have to put the DVR on. I don't know why they make that a option. They should just make it mandatory, but
For your children's safety, do not allow them to play on or near the escalator. Attend to small children by holding their hand while riding.
Welcome to Long Island Railroad Penn Station.
Please be careful while riding the escalator. Please watch your step getting on and off. Please watch your step.
all right. So here we are again, out in the main patio. But if you guys like the tour of the Penn 2 project, the brand new unveiling of the Penn 2 project, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. Tomorrow I'll probably film a standalone video of the new Vornado 2 Penn project, or Penn 2 project. Hey Brian, what's up? All right, let's head to the Hudson Yards now. Michael. Yeah, for some reason, you have to go into the stream analytics before the live stream starts and enable the DVR, or else you can't rewind. It's a little bit of a pain, but you guys just need to remind me to do it before the stream. I forget. Now, this is the original entrance to the Long Island Railroad here. This is all new construction too. This is all going to be a part of the new Penn project. Yeah, I'll have to just make a mental note to enable the DVR. But once the stream concludes, you can go back and rewind it. Now this is going to be new development here. There was actually a story about how this went into foreclosure. Vincent says, how much is this upgrade costing? Do you know? I don't know the exact dollar amount, but I do know that they temporarily put a pause on some of the office space at Penn 2 because of the vacancy, because the vacancy is just so high around this neighborhood. But they're still going through with the renovations to the train station. They're just temporarily putting a pause on, what do you call it? Some of the new office space. This is the New Yorker Hotel. So this is now the west side of Penn Station. We're going to check out the new Moynihan train hall. And this is Madison Square Garden. Anybody know why the color scheme in New York City is blue tonight? Madison Square Garden is blue, One Vanderbilt, World Trade Center, Empire State Building. Somebody says, is it better to go to New York City in December? I don't think so. I think it's better to come in the summer. The summer is so fun. There's people out. It's awesome outside. You know, in the winter, you can't really go outside because it's too freezing. All right, so we're walking up the steps to the Moynihan train hall. I always like this view. Oh, it's celebrating the FIFA World Cup. Wow. Cool. All right, now this used to be, well, this still is a post office. We haven't been in here in a long time. Look at the detail on the ceiling. Let's loop around to the other side. Oh, they close it off. Okay, usually they have it open where you could walk all the way to the back and go into the Moynihan train hall. So it looks like we may have to find another way to get in there because the internet is just egregious. It's horrible in there. So let's bang a left and we'll head by the Hudson Yards, which these are renting really, or I should say leasing, very well. It's a little bit too windy to go all the way to the Hudson Yards tonight, but maybe another night when it's less windy. That's cool though. I'm seeing a lot of comments in the chat about the FIFA World Cup. The final is being hosted in New York City. That's going to be nuts. That is going to be insane. Hey, Mark says hey from San Diego. What's up, Mark? We're checking out the Empire State Building, Madison Square Garden here. Beautiful views. Let me just put my hood up and then we'll head towards Hudson Yards. Hey, Cape Cod Sarah, what's up? Yeah, it's going to generate a ton of money for the city. So Miami has the third place game. Well, I wonder what stadium they're going to host that at in New York. Are they going to build one? I don't know. Mark says, I imagine New York City has changed a lot since I was there in the 80s. Oh yeah, Mark. I mean, my God. I mean, that's sort of what we were given a tour of today. Penn Station totally changed. We just gave a complete walking tour of the new Penn 2 project put on by Vornado, so Steve Roth's company. They did a phenomenal job. I mean, Penn Station used to be an absolute horror show. Disgusting, dirty, grimy, filthy, unsafe, and now it's awesome. Same here. I mean, if you were here in the 80s, 1980, everything that you see here on your screen right now didn't even exist. This is all brand new. This is the Hudson Yards. This used to be auto body shops. This used to be train tracks. Horse stables were over here. I mean, everything you see here on this shot is totally brand new. The Hudson Yards development. As we push further to the west side, you're gonna see even more and more of the Hudson Yards. Pretty cool. Hey Todd says, how much does your apartment rent for in the summer in Miami? In the summer? Well, I own a house, but same deal. In the winter months, which is right now, the snowbird season, $4,500. which is, I think, is a smoking deal. I think that's a really, really good deal, to be honest, because, oh, let's look at some of the furniture in this brand new Class A office tower. You have Accenture, you have EY. Look at that. Stunning lobby. Look at those ceiling lights. But it is windy. I'm sure you guys can hear the wind absolutely screaming through the microphone. That's the only issue with the Hudson Yards. The further west you go in New York City, the windier and windier it gets. But look, if you want to talk about South Florida, we call it the peak season down there. So in South Florida, I would say December all the way until the end of April is our peak season. So, you know, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, you know, just under 1,700 square foot house with a front yard, a backyard, you know, totally private. You can park your car in the driveway. $4,500 a month is a steal. And I'm just about 2.5 miles away from the ocean. So beautiful Miami Beach. Renting that out for $4,500 a month, I think is a very good price. I think it's a very good deal. And the demand has been extremely high. Extremely high. You know, some people spend $4,500 on a 1-bedroom apartment, you know, 700 square feet in New York City. So imagine if you could work remote, bring your whole family, hang out in the 75-degree weather. It's sunny. It's a very good deal.
Bye. Love you.
So this is the ice skating rink. Hey, Kathy Lyons, appreciate it. Thank you for the well wishes. Have a great Monday. I know, Sunshine NYC. This is West Palm Beach is bombarded with snowbirds. I could imagine right now. Wow, Hang with Mark Moms is telling my sister vacations by the beach in Florida, and she had to pay $6,000 a month. It is crazy. You are charging less, and that is a steal. Yeah, because I could definitely get more for my place, but the way I advertise it is, it's very, very clear what I want. Remote workers that want very, very, very quiet and peace. I don't want any spring breakers. I don't want any partiers. So that's really what I've been getting. So if you're a good tenant, you know, if you're just looking for a nice place to stay, that's the kind of, I guess, the people I want. So check this out. This is the Whole Foods. And we're also coming up on the brand new Moynihan extension. It is the Highline extension. Ooh, Pup says you live next to an Airbnb house and they partied all the time. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. I'll give you guys a little bit of an insight to that, by the way. So this is the brand new Highline extension. This thing that you're looking at was $50 million. Just the little extension to bring you across the street over this nice wooden bridge right to this patio here by Whole Foods. Hey, Lance says, hey Tom, would I get a Walks in Wall Street discount for your Miami place? I think $4,500 is the Walks in Wall Street discount. But for sure, yeah. I'll give you an extra special Walks in Wall Street discount. Hudson Yards looks very futuristic. Now, one of the ways to avoid, because a lot of people are very squeamish about Airbnb, which I totally get and I understand. It's very, very rare you'll ever have a problem renting your place out on Airbnb if you only do 30-day plus rentals. You get the major problems when you live in a very touristy area, right? So like in Miami, like in New York City, and you do 2-day, 3-day rentals. Because people, particularly in Miami Beach, they'll rent out a house, they'll rent out an apartment for the weekend and totally destroy the place, right? But chances are, if somebody is renting your place for 1 to 3 months, they're not there to, have a party and destroy it. In addition, because what you also have to remember is Airbnb, if somebody rents my place for $4,500 a month for 3 months, they have to pay that all up front. Even if they want to rent it out for a year, it's up front. The whole payment is up front. So chances are, if you can afford over 10 grand to rent a place for 3 months, you're probably not the type of person who needs to destroy the property, and you're going to take care of it, and you're actually, a high quality tenant. So the longer duration, you tend to get a different type of clientele. Like travel nurses you also get a lot of people who want to live and buy in the neighborhood, but they just want to check it out first and rent it first. So I think Airbnb is a great platform. I think it's a great company. I think it's one of the, I should say, not revolutionary companies of our generation, but it definitely helps people. An easier way to rent out your place if you want to use it yourself. It's really helped the more, I would say, transient economy. Remote workers, tech workers, and just people who just want to more easily explore places and not have to, use a hotel room. You can get an actual kitchen. You could live in a house. You don't have to go to a hotel. So I think it's good. Anybody here have had good experiences or bad experiences either renting their place out on Airbnb or renting a place on Airbnb? Hey, Hang with Mark Mom says, Tom, I get nurses who need 3 to 5 month rental gigs, nearby hospitals and college students for another 2 semesters, and grad school. Got it. That's great clientele too. It's really, really good stuff. Hey, Jennifer Johnson says, Tom, will the Fidelity Contra Fund give out dividends in February now that Meta is paying dividends quarterly? I'm not sure. Usually with the mutual fund, Fidelity Contra is one of the most highly regarded mutual funds. But you're right. That was major news. So what Jennifer is talking about is the following. Meta, or Facebook, right? Mark Zuckerberg's company, reported just an absolute blow the doors off thunder earnings report. And one of the big surprises that came about on that report is Meta is now issuing a dividend, right? For the first time in history. I mean, talk about a turnaround story for that company. The stock topped in 2021. It declined over 70%. The stock went down 77%. Shareholders were pissed off. The board was pissed off. Then in 2023, the company adopted what they call the year of efficiency, where, you know, due to artificially suppressed interest rates, there was a lot of corporate bloat at Meta. There was about 80,000 or some crazy number of employees. They laid off about 25% of the workforce. They doubled down on what they do best. They got lean and mean, and now they're a cash generating machine yet again. So it just goes to show, right? Over long durations of time, companies can, you know, really hire for duplicity. Like, a lot of people do the same job. It's called corporate bloat. And that's why a lot of times when companies become very, very big and established, they sort of lose the main catalyst that drove all the growth in the first place. If anybody here has worked at a startup, I think you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. If you've ever worked at a startup, decisions can be made very, very quick, right? So if you're working on a new product, you know, it goes to the engineering team, you know, it goes to the PMs, it goes to the salespeople. If you're at a startup with only 50 people, you know, and if you're a salesperson and an account executive, you can very, very easily and efficiently get the feedback over to the engineering team and say, hey, they love this software, but you need to change X, Y, and Z. And boom, that can get done in a month. If you're at a very, very big company, there's a lot of bureaucracy, there's a lot of middle management you have to go through, and you kind of lose the allure of moving fast, right? In the tech world, it's called move fast and break things. So, you know, when companies get so huge and there's so much bureaucracy, it kind of loses that advantage of being very malleable, being fast moving. And that's really what causes the structural decline of some companies when they sort of top out. So you never want to see anybody lose their job, right? It's horrible, but usually when you see a lot of these layoffs, people kind of scratch their head and they're like, wait, this company's laying off all these employees. Why isn't the stock going down? How come the stock is actually going up? It's for that exact reason, because management is making a change and they're going to do a complete rip and replace and get back to the basics. And that's actually what happened. So, kind of interesting. Peters' Fidelity Magellan Fund makes distributions in May and December. Susanna Q4 says, Tom, if I put for rent my apartment, how would you describe a high quality tenant? Well, I mean, you just have to run through the basic, if you're going to make them sign a lease, right? So I'm assuming you're talking about you want to make the person sign a lease for 12 months. You just have to go through the rudimentary, normal process to qualify a tenant. So you would do a traditional background check, right? Make sure they're not a criminal, or a violent criminal, I should say. You do a credit check. You check the credit worthiness and the quality of the individual, and then you request 2 copies of their most recent bank statements and 2 most recent pay stubs. And if all that comes out good, you know, there's a very high probability that that tenant will be good and take care of your property. Brian Taylor says, Tom, respectively, you are capitalist scum, unsubscribing. I get it. No worries. Well, I appreciate you being here while you were here. But yes, I am a pure, gung-ho, pro-America, 10 out of 10 capitalist. Not for everybody, but I like prosperity, I like peace, and I like making money hand over fist. And I will not apologize for that. So we are now here at the Hudson Yards. You can see the vessel. This is an amazing structure here. And this is 50 Hudson Yards. This is the brand new BlackRock headquarters actually moved from the east side of Manhattan. Hey Andrew, what's up? Good to see you. This is Palantir Technologies. Results tomorrow morning. Good stock to watch. Have you heard of Palantir? I have heard of Palantir. The only thing, I don't own the stock. I know the company very well. They have the price action, there's a lot of overhead in that stock, right? And usually when you emerge out of a bear market into a new bull market, the leaders show themselves first. So what I'm trying to say by that is, if you study the history of the stock market right at the start of new bull markets, usually the first stocks to emerge, right, and hit new all-time record highs are what's categorized as the true market leaders. And the laggards, right, they may hit new all-time record highs, but it may take significantly longer for them to do that. And usually, right, they won't go up as much as the leaders who are already out, right? And the theory behind that is, if you're an institutional investor, right, or a trader, or you're managing a pension fund, a mutual fund, you employ some of the smartest analysts all over the world, right? And what makes a stock go up is the liquidity and people buying it, right? And the best investors in the entire world, they tend to buy companies with explosive earnings, explosive sales, great return on equity, you know, very high pre-tax, after-tax margins, and they tend to stick with those names. So be very careful about buying second best. I wrote a piece on this. I wrote an article about this. If you type !news, N-E-W-S, in the chat, it's going to drop the link to our Substack. I actually wrote a little bit of a write-up on this. Now, the study was from a firm called Ropel Capital Management, and they did a study of true market leaders in previous bull markets, and what they found is that the stocks that break out first, you know, and we can name a couple now, right, that are the first ones out in a new bull, like all of the liquid leaders like the Nvidias, right, that are already up and out, you know, and up over 50% from all-time record highs. They tend to go up about, on average, in the bull cycle, right? So if you want to talk about it in an entire cycle, they tend to go up about 300% more than the second best stock. So if you had the option, right, and this isn't a recommendation to buy anything or sell anything, but if you had the option to buy any stock in the market, why would you settle for second best, right? That's kind of how it was explained to me. So be careful of bottom fishing here. I know it's kind of counterintuitive. People want to look for, what is this guy doing? I don't think that guy's a shirt on. He must be freezing. But be very wary of trying to pick stocks off the bottom. Quite the contrary to what people would think. They think, oh, I want to buy a stock that's beaten down and, you know, trading well off record highs. You actually want to be looking for stocks making new highs, because if you work backwards, as we're looking over New Jersey, those stocks probably share a very similar set of characteristics. And that is the explosive earnings power, the explosive sales, the explosive return on equity, pre-tax, after-tax margins. You'll really notice there's a reason why those stocks are hitting new highs. One of my, I guess you can say, mentors explained it to me this way. They're like, there's a reason, right, that stocks are expensive, and there's a reason why a stock is cheap. So if somebody says, oh my gosh, this stock is so cheap, you know, it's trading at like $9 a share, right? There's a lot of things that go into valuation, but this is just a general example. Like General Electric, for example, right? A lot of people would look at that on face value and say, oh my God, the stock has been beaten down, it's so cheap. Well, the market knows that, and there's a reason for it, right? There's a reason why you know, a stock is a $2 stock, right? There's a reason why, you know, some stocks are trading at a ridiculous PE ratio, because the market assigns that valuation because of the credit, because of the high quality of the company, right? The earnings power, the earnings growth. So all these penny stocks and these people that say, oh, just go buy penny stocks and trade penny stocks, these stocks don't go up for a reason, because they're garbage companies. They don't have any earnings, they don't have any sales. If anything, the companies are in structural decline. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of just went on a tangent there. I think the question was about Palantir, but I'm watching Palantir. I think it's a very good company in cybersecurity. All right, one more shot at the vessel at the Hudson Yards. And this is the Equinox Hotel and Tower here. Beautiful building. And we'll head back in. Hey, Mr. Gummy Bear, what's up? Says Palantir was a steal at 6 per a year ago. If the earnings tomorrow is not perfection, then it can easily drop 20%. Yeah, for sure. But no, and you're right. And I think that's a good example, because I mean, think about some of the thunder earnings reports that have been coming out, right? And we did a deep dive through Microsoft. We did a deep dive through Alphabet, Meta. So if money is going to flow to the best companies, then it'll go to the second best, the third best, and the like. And that's why if you look at the average daily dollar volume of a lot of these liquid leaders, it's the volume is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Hold on, let me see if I have my I don't have my charger. Bummer. Let's see. Hey, Travel Nista, what's up? All right, everybody, I think we will leave it off here because my phone is about to die and I need it to get on the train. But everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Walks on Wall Street. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel and click the like button. We do these streams every single night starting at 8:30 p.m. We also write a free investing newsletter that we send out to the group every other Thursday after the market closes. If you'd like to receive all of our research for free, just type !news, NEWS in the chat, and the Nightbot will drop the link to our Substack. We publish every other Thursday at the conclusion of the market trading day. And I just sent out the newsletter on Thursday. We talked about Microsoft, we talked about AI, a lot of stuff. We talked about the FOMC meeting. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think of the Substack. You can listen to the audio podcast version for free. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. So Mary, appreciate it. Yesterday, 15. Amy T, all of our good moderators. Robert Parker, thank you so much. AB, appreciate you. Austin City Limits, Bree Grams. Remember, there is always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. God bless the United States and God bless all of you. Take care.